Hey everyone! So welcome to live yoga, meditation, and music. I'm going to go to my corner and I'm going to turn it over to Kathleen and hopefully, go get your stuff, take your time, grab your, because it's so last minute and unannounced and all of that. But we're here, so hey Joan! What's up girl? Okay, I'm going to my corner.
So I will, so that y'all can see me before I descend down to the mat. I might turn the camera angle down actually.
Yeah,
that might be better.
If you want, or whatever you want to do.
Let's see if that, because when I sit down, I want to be visible. That makes me, no, there we go. What I did.
Do you want to move? Are you good? You want to move closer?
I could move it closer now. I originally moved it back thinking I needed it, and I also raised this up.
I just didn't know.
Because I wanted to...
Okay, it's crooked though.
Oh. Now, the way that I was standing in front of it, it had kind of blurred with it.
Yeah, I think it's good now.
Okay, I'm going to raise the camera up again. It's hard because normally when I do it, if I'm doing it on phone, I'm not on landscape mode. So people may, well, that's okay. All right, well, welcome to yoga. Thank you for hosting, Maritri.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So Maritri contacted me, was about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, and said, hey girl, what do you think about doing some music and yoga at my house? And our original hope was the beautiful outside patio, but winter has interfered with that plan. And here in California, we never know if we're going to have a warm January or a cold January. And we are currently in a cold spell. So we have come down to this lovely room. And we do have some people that are not on camera. Well, you are. but we do have a little crowd here. And the yoga that we're bringing to you today is in honor of the new year. New beginnings to go with the new year. So I always do some research in advance of planning classes to determine what our theme is going to be and how we're going to do it. And one of the books I love to consult is this Yoga Almanac. So it takes us through 52 practices, 52 weeks a year, and takes us through all 12 of the zodiac signs, and takes us through the moon series for each month, and the seasons. So it's a really wonderful guide to kind of kick off thoughts as we navigate through the year, navigate through the seasons. And in our lives, we have seasons. We have seasons throughout the year, but we also have seasons of our lives. And they call us to do different things. They call us to different energy levels. They call us to have different forms of introspection, be reflecting on different things of our being, of our living, of our connectionalism with the world around us. And so January 1, now today too, January 2nd, is an awesome opportunity to be reflecting on what we want to happen for the coming year. Many people establish their goals for the new year. Some may choose to do that. Some may just choose to, make deeper commitments to the things that they have always believed strongly in and use the new year as an opportunity to recommit to those concepts. But what I'm going to invite you first to do is find yourselves in a comfortable position. You can lay down, you can sit up, you can sit in a chair, you can be on your couch, you can be propped against the wall. There's no wrong way to find your relaxing position because you're going to be in it for a little bit while we begin our breathing and begin our meditation.
Hey, There's pillows over there if you want.
Okay. You sure? Okay. So take your time, take your moment to get organized in the way that you want to be. And then I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. And I'm going to ask you to start to turn your attention inward. Take your gaze and turn inward. There's a space between the eyebrows, or right in the center of the forehead. We call that ajna. That is the third eye chakra. And start to deepen your view internally and start to engage in breathing that is long and slow through the nostrils. Inhaling inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling out of the nostrils. As you begin this breathing and this internal focus, focus on relaxing all of the muscles of the face. Relax your neck muscles. Relax your shoulders. And allow your arms to go limp. Begin to breathe smoothly. Inhale. And gently exhale. When you inhale, try to draw your breath as deeply into the lungs as you can, smoothly and slowly. And very gently exhale, taking your time. Perhaps taking longer to exhale than you would spend on the inhale. As you inhale, expand the belly. And as you exhale, draw it back in. Continue to inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, expand the belly and your lower ribs. And on your exhale, bring that back in. Inhale, expanding the belly and the lower ribs, and then your middle ribs. And exhale, bringing it all back in. On your next inhalation, expand the belly and your ribs and begin to spread your chest muscles. And exhale, bring it all back in. And then on your next inhale, expanding the belly, the ribs, your chest muscles, and widen your collarbones. And exhale, bring it back in. Now I want to invite you to continue to keep your eyes closed. Continue your breathing in and out while I read to you from the Yoga Almanac. The practice of habitual ritual. What are you building? Is it an empire or is it a home? A stronger body or a stable mind? Is it intentional or is it haphazard? Whatever it is you are developing, consciously or not, you are creating a practice. A practice is a habit, a pattern, or a tendency that gives way to a consistent, regular routine. Practices are building blocks that make us more resilient. Yoga is a process of slow and steady building, be it sequencing of physical postures or fostering inner resiliency. The sutra instructors describe our samskaras as inherited karmic patterns that are reinforced through unconscious repetition, in part due to societal conditioning. As we develop awareness for these cyclical patterns, noticing them as they arise, we undo what is outmoded so that we may eventually break free. In this freedom, we are able to develop new, healthier habits and build toward the strongest version of ourselves. So this is what I wish for you today, is that as you enter the new year, that you establish intentions that will allow you to become the strongest and healthiest person or version of yourself. So to go along with this today, we are studying Ganesha, the goddess Ganesha. The Ganesha mudra is the gesture of the elephant deity. Elephants are amazing animals, you know, they have very long memories. They form bonds that are lifelong. They remember each other. If two elephants are separated and they see each other 30 years later, they know that they are kin. They know that they are family. Elephants have emotion. They are highly sensitive. They cry when they are happy. They cry when they are sad. They are deeply in tune with one another. And so I have been thinking about this new year, and for me, the thing that I want most for the new year is to create deeper connections. Connections that are inside, connecting with the self. So we might ask ourselves, are we disconnected from ourselves? Lots of us just go through a lot of patterns and motioning in life, kind of losing ourselves in the process. So my wish for you is that you will deepen your connection with the self. Deepen our connections with our family members and our loved ones. Deepen our connections with our communities. So here are some questions that I have prepared for all of us to think about as we begin our new year with an opportunity for a clean slate. Can we reflect on who we are and who we want to be? How do we want to be for ourselves, for our families, for our communities? What do we consider essential for living? What makes the life that we live a quality life? What deepens the understanding of the self? And what draws us closer to others? So another book recommendation I might make for the viewers today is The Turquoise Table. It's a beautiful book that takes us deeper into the idea of where is life today, how far away did it stray from what we wished it would be, and how do we come back to that using the table, the metaphor of the table to draw people together. And so I've been spending time in reflection myself and have made a whole list of ways this year that I want to deepen my connection with myself and to my community, and I invite you to do the same. One of the other values that I'm going to invite you to reflect upon today that is brought to us through the Ganesha Mudra is the balancing of rest and activity to support us in planning, organizing, and manifesting our plans and projects. So that's the other aspect that we talk about. When we lose our connectionalism, maybe we have lost our balance. Maybe we dive too deeply into work and into planned activities, something that in this country is deeply valued. How busy are we? Oh, you must be a great person if you have a whole lot going on. But really, I'm inviting you maybe to find greater balance and slow down, live more in the present, live more in the moment, find joys being with those you love and making that a priority. So take a couple more seconds to meditate upon these thoughts before we move into the movement portion of our yoga. So yoga is not just the movement, the asanas. It is not just the breathing, but it also is the mind, the willingness to be present, the focus that we take as we turn inward, but also take that internal view and spread it out. It's that commitment to love of the self, and by extension to love of everything around us. How do we make that a reality through the practice of yoga? Let's take a collective, big, long breath together. And gently exhale. And gently open your eyes. And if you're able to, if you've taken this time to lay down, join us in a seated position now. You can be in a chair. You can be sitting on your mat. The choice is entirely yours. We're going to start off with doing some release of tension through the neck, the shoulders, and the upper body. We're going to begin with some neck rolls. So when you find your seated position, what I'm going to invite you to do is lift up your heart center and feel the lengthening of your side waist as you lift up the heart and allow the shoulders to float down. You've created now this beautiful, strong form in this seated position, which now creates space. So as you inhale, draw the crown of your head nice and tall, so feel length created in the neck. And then on your exhale, maintaining that length, draw your chin to your chest. And on your inhale, turn your head to the right. Exhale, bring it back down to the chest. And inhale, bring it to the left. Exhale, bringing it down to the chest. To the right again on your inhale. Exhale, bring your chin to chest. And inhale to the left. Now we're going to go into full circles. So exhale, bring chin to chest. On your inhale, leading with your chin, turn your head to the right, making a circle. And on the exit to the left, exhale. Continue to do those circles. Movement to breath. And while you do that, if you find any point where your neck is stuck, just draw your shoulders down even more. The more you lift up the heart and draw the shoulders down, the more space you create for these beneficial and healing neck circles. We want to release all congestion from the neck. Pause at your chest with your chin, and on your next inhale, reverse that, going to the left and exhaling to the right. We'll do 2 more circles. Close your eyes, maybe open them up. We're going to do some shoulder rolls now. So inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, bringing them down and back. Inhale forward, up to the ears. Exhale backwards and down. Inhale forward and up. And exhale back and down. One more forward. Inhale up to the ears. Exhale back and down, and then let's pause and reverse that order. Inhale backwards and up to the ears. Exhale forward and down. Inhale back and up. Exhaling. Inhale backwards and up. Exhale forward and down. One more. Inhaling back and up to the ears. Exhale forward and down. heart center forward, arching the back, sits bones floating backwards. Exhale, bringing the back towards the wall behind you. Inhale, drawing it forward. And exhale, bringing it back. And let's do one more. Inhale forward, make it big, draw those shoulders down, spread the chest muscles. And exhale, returning to our neutral spine, sitting nice and tall. Place our left hand on the floor, bring our right arm out to the side and over in a seated half moon. Nice long stretch along the right side of the body from your hip all the way up through your rib cage. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop your right hand and bring your left arm out and over on your inhale. And let's go back and forth a few times. Inhale, rise up. Switching sides, curling over to the left. Inhale, rising up. Switching sides, curling to the right. Let's do that 2 more times. Go ahead and move to your own breath at your own pace. Without the breath, we don't have yoga. We only have movement. So we want to marry the movement to the breath. Inhale, rise up, placing both hands on our thighs again. What we're just going to do is some gentle twisting, but we're not going to use our arms to anchor us. We're just going to move the upper body. So take a nice inhale, drawing the crown up to the ceiling, lifting up the heart center, and then on your exhale, turn your shoulders to the right. Inhale forward, exhale, go to the left. And let's do that a few times as well. We're just gently opening the body, using movement, using our own skeletal and muscular structure. We're not forcing anything to happen. And we'll do that a couple more times as well. Let's inhale, facing forward. Let's do a couple of wrist circles. And maybe straighten out the arms as if you're pushing a wall away. Flexing your hands. Now turn your fingers down, flexing your tops of your wrists. Take your right arm across the body, stretching out the back of that shoulder. And then reverse that, going to the other side, taking the left arm across the body. Very nice, everybody. So now we're going to find our way to our hands and our knees. And we're going to do some of that same movement, only now we are not sitting. Now, if you want to continue to do those same movements, if you're in a chair at home, some people like chair yoga. I love to teach chair yoga. But we're all on our mats today over here on this side of the planet. Okay, so finding your strong tabletop, I want you to have your hands, if you're on the mat, hands right underneath the shoulders, knees right underneath the hips, and then I want you to draw the shoulders down the back as you draw the crown of your head forward. You'll feel your upper belly hollow out a little bit as you move your tailbone backwards and your crown of your head forward, lengthening the sideways. On your inhale, going into cow, drop the belly, lift up the sits bones, lift up the heart, stretching out the belly, drawing the shoulders down. On your exhale, move your back towards the ceiling. Inhale, dropping the belly, drawing the shoulders down, lifting up the sits bones. Maybe open up the throat, make it big and long. Exhale, reversing that. Inhale, moving into cow. And exhale, moving into cat. And let's do that one more time. Inhale into cow. Exhaling into cat. returning to that neutral spine again, let's just stretch out our feet very briefly, tucking our toes, sitting back on our heels. Feet take a lot of abuse. And as we age, we tend to not use our feet as much as we should. And those muscles of the feet can atrophy. And when they do, you might see changes in how you walk and how you move. So the feet are the foundation. They are so important. So let's love our feet. Let's move forward, flatten out our feet, and pat the tops of our feet on the mat. And then briefly sit back on the heels. We know deep knee bends might not be comfortable, but they are necessary also to protect the health of the knee joint. So these simple movements, a few minutes a day, can be very preventive. Let's rise up, walking up to the top of the mat. So we're going to find ourselves in Tadasana. So you can't see my feet. You can see my upper body really well, but I invite you to look down at your feet. So lifting up your toes, what I want you to do is lift up the heart at the same time, and notice what that does with your arches. Notice what happens when you lift up your arches and lift up your toes, how it kind of encourages the three corners of the foot to be making equal contact with your mat. That's what we're going for even when the toes go back down. We're also using our upward energy, the energy we draw from the earth upward, going up through the midline of the body, through the center of the thighs, up through the midline, up through the heart, up through the crown. And when we do that, the shoulders come down, and we strengthen the whole midsection of the body. Now lower your toes, turning your hands forward. Ask yourself, how am I feeling in this Tadasana at this moment in time? So let's do a little bit of undulating of the spine. Let's inhale the hands out and up, making it really tall. And then on your exhale, bring your hands out to the side, bend your legs, and fold over the legs. Drop your hands to the floor, drop your crown, and then let's roll our way back up on our inhale. Exhale, bring the shoulders down the back, turning the hands forward. Inhale the hands out and up. Exhale, out to the side, bend the legs, fold over the legs. And inhale, roll up. Try to make this a meditation. Inhale, bring our hands out and up. Exhale, out to the side, bend the legs, fold over. Inhale, bend the legs deeply as we roll up. Exhale, bringing the hands down to the side and forward. Inhale, the hands up. And exhale, folding and bending. And just do this a few times. Notice how it feels to move your spine this way. Do your breathing differently than how I cued. You might discover that your breathing changes as you make your movement more fluid, and that's okay. We find that the cueing that I give might be to teach you the process, but then you'll tailor it to how your body likes to move and breathe. Let's do a couple more of those. Let's exhale, bring our hands down through Ajna, down to our heart center, Anahata. Take a moment, perhaps, with your eyes closed or open, personal preference. How you feeling? We started to warm up the body, we've done a little movement, we've done a lot of breathing. How do you feel in space? Do you feel more present for yourself? Do you feel more connected to the environment around you? So It's a common practice in India to greet the new year and to greet the winter solstice or the summer solstice, that we do this with sun salutations. Today I'm going to give you a break and not do 108 of them. We're going to do more like 5. So let's inhale our heads out and up. And exhale, fold forward. Your legs can be bent or straight. It's up to you. Dropping our crown. Let's inhale into a flat back. Drawing the crown of our head forward, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold down, placing your hands on the floor, and take your right foot backwards into a lunge. But drop your knee. And initially, I'm going to invite you to place your hands on top of your left knee. Lift up your heart center, and maybe move the hips forward, feeling a stretching out of this right psoas. And then on your exhale, place your hands on the floor and move the hips back, but keep your front leg in the same position as we go into what we call half Hanumanasana or half monkey stretch. So we're just stretching out that left hamstring. This should feel good. And as you stretch this hamstring, you can focus on drawing the hip back as you draw the heart center forward. Notice there's a lot of space between my leg and my heart center. The goal is not to fold over the leg, but to get a nice, satisfying, and safe stretch. Take a nice inhale. And exhale, bring your left knee back to join the right. So now we're in tabletop. We're going to do what we call four-limb staff pose. So keeping your hips up nice and high. Bend your elbows into the ribs, chin and chest to the floor. Leave your hips high, and then come forward on the belly. Draw your shoulders down, elbows into the ribs as you lift up a low cobra on your inhale. Exhale, lower down, tuck your toes, move back and find your child's pose. Nice, satisfying stretch. And then inhale, rise up into tabletop again. And then from tabletop, keep your hips high as you walk your hands forward in what we call puppy dog pose. So draw the hips back, draw the belly in, allow that backwards movement to be how you get the stretch in your shoulders. And then inhale, rise up, and take your right foot forward. So your left knee is on the ground. Rise up, placing your hands on that right knee. And then bend that knee as you lift up your heart center, moving your hips forward. Getting a nice stretch of your left psoas. Take a beautiful inhale. And exhale, place the hands on the floor, move the hips back, keeping that right foot in place. And a nice hamstring stretch on that side. Over time, this will feel better because the body's going to warm up. Take a nice inhale. And on your exhale, we're going to bring it all forward. Left foot comes to join the right. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reverse it, rising all the way up. And exhale, bring hands down to heart center. So that was the first sun salutation. We're going to do 4 more. Actually, 5 now. Inhale, bring our hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into the flat back. Exhale, fold down. Take our left foot back now. Drop our knee. Place our hand on our right knee. Both hands. Lift up the heart. Move the hips forward. Enjoy that stretch. And exhale, bring the hands to the floor. Straighten out your front leg as you move your hips back. Feel that nice opening of the hamstring. So you already look like you're more open. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, take our right knee back. We're in that tabletop again. We're going to do that 4-limb staff pose. Bend your elbows into the ribs, chin and chest to the floor. Move forward on the floor. Now you're on your belly. Inhale the heart center up in low cobra. Exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes. Move back and get a beautiful stretch in child's pose. Inhale, rise up into tabletop again and walk your hands forward in puppy dog. So this is like downward facing dog, only we're doing it on our knees. Inhale, rise up. And then on your exhale, take your left foot forward. Still in that lunge, placing your hands on top of your left knee. Bend that left knee as you move your hips forward, lifting up the heart center, drawing the shoulders down. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop the hands to the floor. Right foot comes forward to join the left. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold down. Inhale. Inhale, reversing it, rising all the way up. And exhale, bring hands down to heart center. Third round, inhale our hands out and up. And exhale, forward fold. We can go a little faster now. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale down, take our right foot back into the lunge. Dropping our knee. You can keep your hands on that knee or you can bring them overhead. Exhale, circle the hands down. Move the hip backwards. Straightening out your left leg. Take a nice inhale. And exhale, take left knee back to join the right. In tabletop, lower and forelimb staff. Inhale, come forward in low cobra. Exhale, lower down, tuck our toes. Moving back into child's pose. Inhale, up into tabletop. Exhale, hands forward in puppy dog. Inhale, rise up. And take our left foot, our right foot forward. Sorry. Inhale, bring the hands up. And exhale, circle them down. Left foot comes forward to join the right. Inhale into a flat back. Exhaling down. Inhale, reverse it, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Third round. Inhale, bring our hands out and up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold down. Take our left foot back. Drop our knees. Bring our hands up. Moving our hips forward if that's available. Exhale, circle the hands down. Straighten out our front leg. Nice hamstring stretch. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring our right knee back to join the left. In our tabletop now, drop into forelimb staff pose on the exhale. Inhale, forward into low cobra. Exhale, lowering down, tucking our toes, move back to child's pose. Inhale, rise up into tabletop, and then exhale, walk the hands forward in puppy dog. Keep the hips nice and high. Inhale, rising up, taking our left foot forward on the exhale. Bringing our hands out and up. And exhale, circle them down. Right foot comes forward. Inhale into a flat back. Exhaling down. Inhale, reverse it, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, bring our hands out as we fold forward. Inhale into a flat back. Exhaling down, take our right foot back. Now maybe you want to do a high lunge this time. So if we do the high lunge, you can stay like this, hands on the floor, or you can bring them up. Exhale, circle them down. Plant your heel in the back and straighten out both legs. Kind of a pyramid pose, just keep your hands on the floor, take an inhale. And exhale, bend your front leg, plant your hands. Take your left foot back to join the right. Drop your knees, drop chin and chest to the floor. Inhale, come forward, a little cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale, move back through child's pose. And this time, rise up into downward dog. Feeling that movement now of your hips going backwards just like they did in puppy dog. Take an inhale. And exhale, bring our right foot forward. You can drag it along the mat if you want. Sometimes making that leap all the way to the front is a little bit tough. You can stay just like this in your lunge, or you can rise up in Anjaneyasana. And exhale, dropping the hands down. Take our left foot forward. Inhale into a flat back. Exhaling down. Inhale, reverse it, rise all the way up. And exhale, bring hands down to heart center. Inhale, bring our hands out and up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale down. Let's take our left foot back. So if you choose to stay in this higher lunge, you can keep your hands down or you can rise up in Anjaneyasana. Exhale, drop the hands to the floor. Drop our left heel to the floor, straightening out both legs in pyramid, but you don't have to fold over the leg. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, bend your front leg, plant your hands, and go back into a plank, dropping your knees, elbows in, chin, chest to the floor. Inhale, forward, low cobra. And exhale, fold down, tucking our toes. Move back through child's pose. Rise up into downward dog. Take a nice inhale. And exhale. Bring that left foot up. You can drag along the mat if you want, or you can step up. So you can keep your hands like this in your lunge, or you can rise up in Anjaneyasana. And exhale. Circle the hands down. Take our right foot forward. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold down. And inhale, reverse it, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. So take a moment to reflect on these sun salutations. And here's my challenge to you, my yogis. Can you make a commitment of a habit of yoga every day? And you can get on your mat or not get on your mat to do your yoga. Can you do just a few sun salutations a day? You can do them on a chair, you can do them on the mat, you can do them in the park, you can do them in your bed before you go to sleep at night. Riley's over here showing us you can do it on a soft surface. She's amazing. But if you challenge yourself to do a little bit of yoga every day, I promise you, everything you face in life gets easier. I promise it. Let's inhale our hands out and up. Bring them back down again to heart center, and at the same time, sit like you're sitting in a chair. But we're not going to stay here. We're using this as our setup now to go into Warrior One. So take our right foot backwards, drop our heel to the floor. All of our toes are facing forward. Just lift up the heart center. Draw the shoulders down. Notice how your legs feel in this Warrior One. We're always getting our arms involved. I was just telling Scott about that last night. Let those arms be an extension of what your body is doing. So let's practice doing this without the arms for a moment, just to check in with our lower body. Are we creating a nice foundation? Think of that as a metaphor for foundation for living. Do we create a good foundation we can always come back to? Do we create space by lifting up the heart, drawing down the shoulders? Notice what that does, the legs. Now see if you can bend your front leg a little bit more deeply after you've created that great space and that great foundation. Now I invite you to open up the arms and bring them overhead. What does it feel like when we take our time? When we do it in stages? When we check in with the body and see how we're feeling? Can you create a little bit more space by lifting up the heart a little bit more? Can you bend your front leg a little bit more deeply? Take a nice inhale. And on your exhale, I'm going to invite you to open up into Warrior Two. So lift up your back heel, turn your toes to the side, and then bring your arms out. One behind, one in front. Check in with your feet. Are your arches still lifted? Maybe you can create a little bit more space from your front leg to your back leg. Maybe you can lift up your heart a little bit more. Remember that there's never a wrong time to lift up your heart and lead with your heart. It's always the answer for every alignment issue. That's what I always say. Let's take a nice inhale. And on our exhale, drop our right hand to our back leg. Bring our left arm up towards the ceiling. This is our peaceful warrior. So I invite you to consider what this means. Peaceful with yourself. Patient with who you are and what you're trying to do in life. By extension, patient with the world that we live in. 2, bend our left arm and place it on top of our left leg. Place our right hand initially on the waist. We're going to focus on that opening again. Draw your right shoulder back and open up your chest. This is what we want to feel in our extended side angle. And remember that the arm is just extra. It goes and follows what the body is doing. So try bringing the arm up to the ceiling. Try to create space by drawing your hand more up to the ceiling and drawing the crown of your head more forward in the same direction as your toes. Having created this space, see if you can turn your hand towards the ear and draw your arm alongside the ear. Now how does it feel? When we open up the chest, let's take a nice inhale and exhale. Bring it back to the waistline. Turn towards your front leg. Drop your hands to the floor and place both hands on the inside of your left foot and drop your crown. So we're doing a modified humble warrior. And I invite you in this pose to be humble before yourself, humble before the world that you're in. A reminder that we all have a place in the world, but that we are really just so important, but also we're just like a small piece of this giant puzzle. We are important, and we humble ourselves before that reality that this is a giant universe, a giant world, and we're just one piece of it. And so is everybody else. So we show patience with ourselves and all the people around us. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, take our left hand to the outside of the left foot. Go back into that plank. Drop our knees. Drop our chin and chest. Move forward in our low cobra. Inhaling, lifting up the heart center. Exhale, lowering down. Tucking our toes, moving back into child's pose. Take a moment in your child's pose. One of the things you can try to do also is place your forehead on the mat and see what that feels like. I always find that by placing the forehead on the mat, that it immediately grounds me. It immediately centers me, and it immediately makes me feel safe. So sometimes the sense of safety we have in the world is what we are creating inside. We can't control all that stuff outside of us, but we might have greater control of what happens inside of us. Take a nice inhale, and then on your exhale, rise up again into downward facing dog. Get a nice long stretch in your dog. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, let's move our feet up to the hands. Take as many steps as you want. And we all meet in forward fold. And then inhale, rise up. And exhale, bring our hands down to heart center. So we're going to do that on the other side now. Balance is what we are looking for also in yoga. So what we do on one side, we always got to do on the other, or else you might walk out of your experience feeling crooked. So let's inhale the heart center up, hands at the heart center, and exhale, sit back down. So just take a moment to organize how you are in this, seeking balance between the feet, the hips, the knees. Take an inhale, and exhale, take your left foot backwards in Warrior One. So remember, in Warrior One, all of our toes are forward facing, our left heel, our back heel is on the floor. And let's just place our hands on the waist or on the hip bones initially to start. Lift up the heart, draw the shoulders down. Notice if you feel difference between the right side and the left side. I do. And what we try to do is bring the two sides of our body into balance with one another. So you might feel stronger and more flexible on one side and less so on the other. So what we do is maybe we push one side more and back off on the other side. Either way, these are all opportunities to explore what's happening in the body. Let's bring our hands out and up. Lifting up our heart, creating space. Remember that. Maybe you can bend your front leg a little bit more deeply. Take a nice inhale. And exhale, let's open up into that warrior two. So you might find you have to reorganize your feet, and that's okay. I do every time. Everybody's hips are different, everybody's bone structure, ligaments, muscles, they all move differently in all of us, and so we find we might have to do some adjusting. But remember what really gets us adjusted? Lift up that heart. Lift up that heart, create space. Maybe you can bend your front leg a little bit more deeply then. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Taking it back to that peaceful, dropping our left hand as we bring our right hand up to the ceiling. I see beautiful extension of the yogis here with me. It's so lovely to see. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, going back into that warrior two, bending our right arm, placing it on top of our right leg, and placing our left hand on our hip, and lifting up the heart, drawing the left shoulder back. So, are you creating extension? Does it feel good? Now bring your arm up. And if you want to, alongside the ear. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Drop your hands to the floor, both on the inside of your foot, and just drop your crown. Humbling ourselves before this thing called life. Take a nice inhale. And exhale. Bring your right hand to the outside of your foot. Go back into that plank pose. Drop the knees, elbows in, chin and chest to the floor. Inhale forward into low cobra. Rise up on the inhale. And exhale, lower down. Again, move back into child's pose. Maybe placing that forehead on the floor. Exhale, rise up into your downward dog. Make it nice and long. And then inhale, walk your feet up to your hands. Exhale, we meet in forward fold. And inhale, we rise up together. Bring your hands overhead. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Take a moment to reflect on this experience. We've done a lot of extension, a lot of breathing. We've been moving very slowly. Hopefully you feel strong. Hopefully you feel extended. Hopefully your breathing comes easier than it did at the beginning of the practice. Sit back again. Take our feet back in that warrior one pose, but then straighten out both legs. So this is like we're setting up for pyramid or triangle. I think what we'll do is we'll start off with triangle. So lift up your back heel and turn your toes to the side. Bring your arms out into the warrior two position. So now lift up the heart center again. Notice the extension you create when you do that. Feeling like a pocket between your crease of your legs and your hip bones. So like you're creating all that space into your triangle. So I'm going to invite you today to just place your hands on your shin to begin. And the reason I'm saying that is it allows us more opportunity to open up the heart when we don't have to reach so hard for the floor. Not everybody has that flexibility in their legs, but I notice that when we don't reach so far down, I see nice, beautiful open chests, and that's just perfect. Take a nice inhale, and then on our exhale, we're going to turn towards the front leg. So you might bring your back toes forward, and let's just place our hands on either side of the knee. We're going to go into pyramid, but we're just going to kind of gently hold on to the leg as we bring the heart center forward. And you can stay at a parallel to the floor, or if you have the availability, you can fold over that leg. You can place your hands on the floor if you want to. And when we take these inverted poses like we are in this pyramid, it's an opportunity to consider the world a little differently. Maybe if you're able to drop the crown entirely, you can look at the wall behind you and go far out. Upside down world. What's it like? Let's take one more inhale together. And then on your exhale, I'm going to ask you to leave your right hand on the floor. Take your left hand to your waist and just twist your body to the left. You don't have to extend the arm. We are doing revolve triangle, but we're just keeping our arm at the waist. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Place that hand on the floor. Go back into our plank. Drop our knees. Chin and chest to the floor. Inhale forward in low cobra. And exhale lower down. Tuck the toes. Move backwards into child's pose. Take a moment there. Stretching out the body. Maybe placing the forehead on the mat. Take a nice inhale. And exhale. Rise up into that downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here. And then inhale. Walk your feet up to your hands. We all meet forward fold. Exhale. And then inhale, rising all the way up. And exhale. Bring hands to heart center. Same thing, other side. Sit back in our chair. Take our left foot backwards, like we're going into warrior one, but then straighten out your front leg. So we're going to do that triangle again. So lift up your left heel, turn your toes to the outside. So your back foot's parallel to the mat, your front toes are facing the front of your mat. Take your arms out into that warrior two. Really create extension now, lifting up the heart, creating space above the creases of the legs. Enjoy this extension you've created. It's like a modified star. Take an inhale and exhale, drop into your triangle. I invite you to just go as low as the shin. You can go to the floor if you want that extension, but we're doing a gentle class today. So we're really just focusing on the mechanics that allow us to open up the body. Take an inhale and exhale. Let's turn towards that front leg again, taking our hands and kind of gently wrapping them around the knee. We're not hanging on for dear life, we're just placing them there. And then draw the heart center down towards the leg. You can have a bend in your front leg, that's totally okay. If you want to place your hands on the floor, that's okay too. So you should be getting a pretty strong stretch on the back of that front leg. You're going to get that stretch if you bend it or make it straight. So if you want to have a little bend in the leg, you go right on ahead. It's magical here with Marie Tree in the room, her angelic voice, and her beautiful acoustic guitar. How lucky I am to have great friends, so talented, so spiritually connected. It's a real blessing. Placing our left hand on the ground, right hand to the right hip, twisting to the right. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Drop our right hand. Go back into our plank. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, dropping the knees, chin and chest to the floor. Inhale forward in your low cobra. Exhale, lower down. Moving back into child's pose. Getting a nice, beautiful stretch. Being kind to the body. And then inhale, rise up. And sit back on your heels again. Just briefly, stretching out our feet. So we're going to do a camel pose. There are ways that you can do camel if being on your knees and being extended with the heart up is too difficult. So I'm going to show from the side 2 ways that you can do camel. So there's the traditional way where we lift up the heart. We can take our hands behind us or even at the base of our back and lift up the heart. Or sometimes it's uncomfortable for people to do that lift. So they might just sit down on their legs, place their hands on top of the thighs, and just lift up the heart that way. So take whatever version of camel you like the best, that feels best to you. I'm going to take a more extended version today. Rise up. Sit back briefly on your heels. Then we're going to rise up again, flatten out our feet, sit back on that, and stretch the tops of the feet. Now I've got something kind of fun planned for you, but I'll warn you it might be difficult to see on camera, so I'll just have to describe it well. For those of you that are on your mat, use the length of your mat, but I'm going to actually be using part of the floor. I'll try not to kick you. Okay, so we're going to do a sequence where we go back and forth between a supported bridge and gate pose. So for those of you that are on your mat, you want to face the side of your mat. I'm going to be facing the front of my mat. Perfect. So you're going to take your right leg out to the side and start off with your hands on your hips. Very good. So let's start with that space creation again. Lift up the heart center. Take our right hand to our right leg. Take our left hand out to the side and over. Just like we do in a half moon pose. Get a nice, beautiful side stretch. Also similar to peaceful warrior. Take an inhale. And exhale, rise up into those warrior 2 arms again. Drop our left hand to the floor. And take an extended side angle. You can also bring your arm overhead and create a deeper stretch. And then inhale, rise up on that knee, warrior 2 arms, and just go back and forth according to your breath, just like we did in the half moon. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, dropping our left hand to the floor, bringing our right arm overhead. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop the right hand, left arm overhead. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop the left hand. Right arm goes overhead. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop the right arm. Left hand comes to the other side. Inhale, rise up. Bring hands to the waist. Knees together. And then take your opposite foot and put it on the outside. There you go. Good job. Inhale, bring our hands up. Starting with gate, dropping our left arm to our leg, curling over towards the leg. Good job, guys. You're doing great. I like the laughter. It's good. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, drop the right hand. Left arm comes alongside the ear. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, dropping the left arm, curling to the left. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop the right arm. extend to the right. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop the left arm and extend to the left. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop the right hand. Stretch to the right. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop your left hand. Curling to the left. And then inhale, rise up. Hands to the waist. Bring that knee in. Sit back on your heels again. Noticing how you might feel. You've done a lot of stretching of those sideways. You've done a great job. So we're going to do pigeon sequence. So just sit on the outside of your left hip. Take your right leg back. Take your left foot forward. Just kind of turn your hips towards that leg. So now your knee should be facing the mat. And if you can't do that, lay on your back. So that's another option, is you can lay on your back and thread the needle. Do you know how to do that? Okay. No worries. No. You're doing great.
I know, right?
You've never done yoga?
No.
I thought she was an experienced yogi.
Nope. First time.
That's fantastic. Okay, so here's what I'm going to show you then. Okay. So you're going to sit up like this, lay on your back. Drop your right leg to the floor. Cross your left ankle over your right knee. Oh. And then just reach through. Oh. So that's one variation. The other variation is what you're doing over here, where right leg is behind, left leg is forward, and then we just lay over the front of that leg and get a beautiful stretch to the outside of the hip. So that's what you're going for. So the more you press that knee to the outside, the one that's bent, the more you're going to get that stretch on the outside of your hip. So, and this is really very good actually if we have lower back pain. It helps pull the muscles away from the part of the spine that might be in pain. It also helps lengthen, create space to lengthen your hamstring and your sciatic nerve. Take some pressure off the sciatic nerve. So, I'm all for that. Me too. Because sciatica sucks. And so the great thing about pigeon is there's a whole lot of ways to do it. You can also do it against the wall, where you put your foot up against the wall and then you bend your leg and cross it over. You can do it when you're sitting in a chair. You can do it when you're sitting on the mat. There's all kinds of ways to do pigeon pose and get that beautiful and delicious stretch. So let's take another inhale together. Plant our hands on the floor for those of us that are in the traditional way. Just lift up the heart center, get a nice little stretch of the front of the hip, the right hip. And then on your exhale, sit on the outside of your hip. So you might want to join us for this. We're going to do a little seated twist. We're going to take the leg that's behind us and cross it over. So there's two ways you can do this. You can do the traditional twist where you clip your elbow on the outside of the knee and twist to the opposite direction. Or you can just hug that knee, which feels mighty good. And then just turn your body. So either way, I find as I get older, even though I move well, I've got arthritis, I know it. Sometimes I just like to be kind to the body. Right. And this hugging of the knee feels really good. So let's take a nice inhale. And exhale, release that gently, and we're going to do pigeon on the other side. So you can lay back down and just reverse your legs. Right leg in front, left leg behind, however you get there. Laying over that front leg. For those of us that are in the normal position, go ahead and place your hands on the floor, lift up your heart center, get a little bit more of a stretch of your extended hip in the front. And then on the exhale, sit on the outside of your right hip. Take your left leg that is behind you around so that it's on the outside of your right leg. And you can either just hug your knee across the body, or you can do a traditional twist. It's up to you. I have a perfect view of Millie over here. Getting her 20th hour of sleep, I'm sure. You want to make sure she's got enough of that sleep.
That's right. She's chilling.
Like a cat. Take a nice inhale.
Yep.
And exhale, face forward. And I'm going to invite you to take kind of a modified version of cobbler's pose. So instead of having our feet way back here like a butterfly, we're going to allow our feet to slide forward and have like a diamond between our legs. And I just want you to allow your legs to relax. It feels good, doesn't it? And then if you want to deepen your stretch, you can start to move the heart forward, drawing the elbows towards the body. You don't have to go very far, but you might feel like space being created in the lower back. Keep your chest up high so you don't overextend it. You might feel the opening of the hips and the back. I've always enjoyed this. Just a nice combination of a forward fold with the opening of the hips at the same time. Very gentle. And let's rise up. Take a moment for reflection again. And then I invite you to find whatever pose you want to rest in. Some people like to put their legs up the wall. Some people like to lay on their back. Some people like to lay on their side. But we're going into that final rest. We call it Savasana. It's called death pose, which sometimes creeps people out that it's called that. But think of it this way. It's death to certain experiences. It's total surrender. And in the lifespan, we have many seasons, and death is the final season. So it's the final portion of any yoga practice. And it's really, really important that we take that time to settle the body, to calm the nervous system, to return our breathing and our heart rate to a more normal pace. As you lay in Savasana now, I'm inviting you to start to relax all the parts of your body. Allow your body to be heavy into whatever surface you're laying on. And I'm going to talk you through the chakras and relax you this way. So starting with our crown chakra, Sarasrara. Think of it like a 1,000-petaled lotus. Sometimes we envision it in total pure white. Sometimes all the colors of the rainbow. A little piece of information about the lotus flower. It's so amazing. In order for it to grow, it has to descend into the murky river waters. And then the next day it rises back up, opening back up. Pure white, looking like it was never in that muddy water. It symbolizes renewal. It symbolizes a new beginning. Each day is a new beginning after a night of rest. Use this as an opportunity to relax all the skin of the scalp, all the hair pieces. Relaxing the skin on the back of the head, the sides of the head. Relaxing the brain. Now drawing your attention to Ajna, the third eye. This lines up with the pineal gland in the center of the brain, which is really, really essential for proper sleep. Proper sleep is really essential for rebuilding the body, for recovery, for restoration. Ajna allows us to turn inward, to know ourselves more deeply, to turn away from all of the noise of the world outside of the body, and turn to the quietude on the inside. We might see it in a beautiful indigo color. Think of the indigo child, the child that is wise beyond his years on this earth, who seems to carry the memories and the experiences of all of his ancestors. Use this opportunity of turning inward to connect with yourself and to all who came before you. As you breathe, focusing on Ajna, relax your forehead. Relax all the muscles of the face. Relax your eyes, allowing them to fall deeply into their sockets. Relax your eyebrows, relaxing your cheeks. As we move down the body, the next energy center is Vishuddha, the throat chakra, which governs our communication. It also governs our respiratory processes. It governs the balancing of the hormones, as the thyroid is located right there. It governs and regulates how we take in nourishment, eating and drinking. It governs our ability to receive communication, to give communication, to speak our truth, to advocate for the truth of other people, to stand up for what is right in the world. You might see this in a light blue, you might see this in a turquoise. As you breathe, relax your throat, relax your neck muscles, relax the jawline and the mouth, relax your shoulders. Our next energy center is Anahata, the heart chakra. The heart chakra allows us to love ourselves, to love all that is around us. It gives us the ability to connect with ourselves, to connect with others, and the shared language of love that needs no words. Heart chakra connects us to what we are most passionate about, to what we love the most. We see it in green. Green is a calming, calming. As you focus on the heart chakra, relax all your chest muscles. Allow your collarbones to widen as you allow your shoulders to fall more deeply. The next chakra is your solar plexus. Right there in the center of the belly. We've all heard the phrase, the fire in the belly. This is where we set intention. This is where we make it happen. This is where we take action. This is where we build heat. invite you to tell that chakra that it's now time to rest and allow that fire to burn out. Instead of seeing it as a burning fire in bright yellow, see it now as gently calming embers. The fire has been put out and is now going to rest. Relax all those muscles, all the core muscles. Relax the back. Relax your lower ribs. Feel the hollowing of the belly. Next, we bring your attention to sacral chakra, right there around where your hip bones are, below the belly button. You might see it in orange. This is our center of creativity. This is the chakra that we turn to learn how to be resilient and flowing with all of life's demands and changes. This is a place where we might express ourselves artistically, where we have to live our art, whatever that art might be. Maybe your art is cooking, maybe your art is gardening, maybe your art is beautiful music like Marie Tree plays for us. Maybe your art is painting, drawing. Maybe your art is just making a beautiful place for people to gather. Whatever your art is, express it. Make a commitment to yourself this year that who you are, you will express that human, that person, the essence. But for now, rest. Relax your hips. Relax your upper thighs. Relax your lower back. Finally, I draw you to the root chakra, Muladhara. You often see it in red. It's the bottom of the pyramid, it's the foundation, it's the hearth of the home. It's our sense of safety and connection to the earth. It's the place we can always come back to when we feel ourselves untethered, when we feel ourselves a little disconnected and a little scattered. Return back to this place we call home. There's a child that resides in all of us, and that is the place where that child resides. Nurture that child. Nurture the child within you. Relax the legs, and your knees, and your feet, your ankles. Your entire body while I share with you some final thoughts from our practice today. To boldly commit and embrace with grace the evolving self requires not only courage but practice. In stillness, we stoke the fires of resilience, reclaiming the narrative and recommitting to growth. I invite you to take as much time as you need in Savasana to rest. And I thank you for joining us today. This beautiful practice, sound healing from Marie Tree, joining me, guiding you through this flow today. As you go into the new year, I invite you to go in with a heart of intention, willing to establish a practice, establish a habit that will help you to grow and connect with the values that you hold most dear. The light in me sees the light in you, and the yogi in me honors the yogi in you. Namaste.
All right, y'all. Thanks for coming. Happy New Year. I'll see you tomorrow, as usual. Have a great evening. Get some rest.